Good to see you today. Hope you're having a good day. We are going to be thinking about the flight into Egypt today, and our hymn is Count Your Blessings. Okay, let's look in Matthew chapter 2 now. Matthew 2 at verse 13. Now when they had departed, talking about the wise men, now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and stay there until I bring you word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed for Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt I called my son. And then there at the bottom of the screen, we know what's going to happen in Bethlehem. But to look at our account that we're considering today, he tells Joseph, an angel of the Lord tells Joseph, take the young child and his mother and flee to Egypt. And you'd probably be thinking, Egypt. That is a long way away. When Mary was pregnant and she goes and just stays with, isn't that the account where she stays with Elizabeth? And it's like, we have relatives. Egypt? Yes, Egypt. Now why? Well, for one thing, it's because Herod's going to be looking. And it would probably endanger any relatives if you stayed with them. But also it's a fulfillment of prophecy. And there's also some foreshadowing and things like that just as Israel came out of Egypt, and so the Lord is going to bring his son out of Egypt. Verse 15. And so yes, there are different reasons for it. We need to remember that we are strangers and pilgrims. And not saying that Joseph and Mary did not realize that. I think they realize that more than we do. But we need to remember this world is not our home. And so as we think about Bethlehem, we have those verses that speak about Bethlehem. But the Lord didn't stay in Bethlehem. You got to follow him. And so you follow him from Bethlehem to Egypt, to Nazareth, to Jerusalem, to outside of Jerusalem. You might think about that idea as well. But if you're Joseph and there you are in the middle of the night and it's Egypt, we're going all the way down there? And that's where they're going. Back to the account. I was thinking about the faith that they had to have when the angel of the Lord says, stay there until I bring you word. Well, how long is that going to be? You're going to stay there until Herod dies. But it's you stay there until I bring you word. And that takes faith. You go down there and you stay there until I say. I like to make this point with Noah and the ark. When Noah, let me see if I can find it real quick. Back in Genesis, as the waters were receding, and it speaks about the waters receded on the earth. This is Genesis chapter 8, verse 11. Noah knew that the waters receded from the earth. Verse 12, he waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove, which did not return to him any more. And so it came to pass in the 601st year, on the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from the earth. They're dried up. Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and indeed the surface of the ground was dry. That's in the first month and the first day of the month. So let's just, for the sake of saying it, say January 1st. Noah looks, and the ground is dry. Verse 14, and in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dried, and God spoke to Noah, saying, go out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons. You know, I've always wondered why Noah didn't go out on January 1st when he saw the ground was dry. You know why he didn't go out? Because you don't go out until the Lord says it's time to go out. Joseph, go down to Egypt. Okay, how long are we going to stay there? You're going to stay there until I bring you word. Until I tell you it's safe. And that takes faith and trust in the Lord. So he arose, he took the young child and mother by night and departed for Egypt. That reminds me of another Old Testament account when the spies came to Rahab and the spies tell her to tie that scarlet cord. We always like to make the point, when they left, how long do you think it took Rahab to tie that cord on that post or pole or whatever it was, on the balcony or whatever it was? Do you think she dawdled? Do you think she waited a day or two, or do you think she did it right then? I bet she did it right then. Joseph is spoken to in the middle of the night in a dream, and he gets up and he gets them up, and by night, that night, they depart. They're not waiting around. They're not dawdling. They don't know where Herod and his soldiers are, and so they get up right then, and they hasten. They hasten and they depart for Egypt. They obeyed the command right then. You might think about the sort of conduct we need to have to hasten and to not drag our feet. And when the Lord says go, we go, and when the Lord says come, we come. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.